It's Saturday afternoon. I have time to do a quick painting here for you. It's one I did, I don't know, I did it when I was doing these in oil paint. This is acrylic now. I'm going to lay it out for you with some burnt umber. Acrylic paint. This is a paint by number that you could get at Michael's, okay? I'm going to kind of try and remember how it goes, but you can look this up. They have mountain back here. Uh, uh, it was very simple. Then there's going to be uh, trees in the back here reflecting in the water. And then there's a little bit of land down here with a tree coming off the side here down to here. And then there's an outcrop of land here in the water with some trees on it. Then this kind of comes around like this, the land in here. And that's pretty much the layout. I'm going to do it really fast. I'm using Utrecht acrylics. You can see I don't use very much paint to get this done. I'm going to use, I got some purples, purple, violet, and ultramarine for the sky. I'm going to just grab some ultramarine blue and white and get my sky in real quick. So this was a paint by number. I looked at those paint by numbers. They're actually a little harder than you think. The numbers are so tiny, and they expect you to put a little bit of paint on each number. Man, I mean that would probably take you days, but watch, I'll get that painting done, and hopefully this will be less than 30 minutes because I kind of know how it's laid out already. I'm going to put a little purple in here today. Purple or violet, just to get some different colors in the sky today. So I'm using this Utrecht acrylic paint. It's really good. It's heavy bodied acrylic paint. And man, it works really good for landscapes. And like I said, you don't have to use very much paint to do it this style I'm doing. I'm using water in that Folgers can just to help the paint move a little better on the canvas. So I got like some purple and blue in there. I kind of like that. I'm going to let it dry a little bit, and then I'll put some clouds up there. Let me put the water in right now. Since I know all this is going to be water, I might as well put it in. So the way I do my water, I'll get a little Payne's gray and blue and mix the Payne's gray in with the blue so it's darker, okay? I want the water to be darker than the sky. And I'm just going to fill in the area where I know it's going to be water. I'm using more of the ultramarine blue. So there's going to be the water. If you go back to my earlier video, I did this painting with oil paint. It was a pretty good video. It got like, I think, over 8,000 views on it. I'm going to lighten up the back of the water here while it's wet. I'll try and explain some of my techniques as I go. I just kind of want to, since it's Saturday, I got a show here this afternoon, so I got to start getting ready pretty soon. We go on at 4, so it's like 1:30 right now. So there's the water. I'm trying to get all the image done first, and then I'll start painting. This is Payne's Gray for my mountains. I put a lot of peaks up there so I can put some snow up there. Payne's Gray, right out of the tube. Then I'll mix a little white in there. I like to mix on the canvas too. I don't like to use the color right out of the tube unless I know it's going to get covered. This is going to end up getting covered with more color, so plus I'm going to add some white in it right now to make this gray down at the bottom. Lighten up the bottom of the mountain. Very good. I'm almost done with my underpaint. There's the mountain. Very good. Let me make sure you can see everything. Zoom it in a little more. I'm going to put the groundwork in now. This I'm using Hooker Green. It's got some black in it. My groundwork. I have some bushes on top of there. And then I'll have some groundwork over here. So that's it. All the underpaint's done. It looks good so far. Put a little yellow ochre in here. This is probably going to end up getting covered here with bushes, so let's put a light color in there. I'm just going to roll through it real quick. I'm using a filbert brush, acrylic number 12, just to get the layout in and the color. I kind of like this so far. I'm going to lighten up some of this here, create some things going on in the ground there. All right, I'm going to do my trees in the back now. I'm going to use a stencil brush. I bought these at Michael's. They're pretty good for making bushes and trees. I'm going to use a small one for the back trees on the mountain. Now the paint by number that I saw, they had evergreen trees back there, but I'm going to make these like regular trees in the back. And I'm going to lighten up my green with a little white. I have a hooker green with black in it, but I'm going to add a little white to it so it kind of gets grayish, gray-green. And actually, I'm not going to do those yet because I got to get I want to get the snow done first. So I'm going to put some light on the mountain now. I'm going to use titanium white. I'll have the light coming from the left today. What I'm going to do is hit the left sides of my peaks real quick. This is how I design it. I just put a little up there first. This Utrecht paint, it works pretty good. It's really heavy bodied. It has it's got a lot of body to it, and you'll be able to see your brush strokes in there too. Put a little snow up there. Now what I'm going to do is kind of design it a little more, like maybe have this mountain turn to the front a little here. Just like that. This one looks good. So basically this is where the light is hitting my mountains here. I kind of like the way those look there. I bring them over a little more here. All right, I'm going to mix some blue and white for my the shadow side. A very, very light blue, because it's like it's a bright day. The sun is out. So on the right side of my mountains, I'm going to make this shadow side put a bluish color in there. I mixed a little ultramarine blue with some white. And I'm doing really short brush strokes up there. probably won't. You can watch some of my other videos. I go into really detail how I do this, but today I just want to try and get this done quickly so it's not a long video. Short strokes. You can hold your brush like this if you want, so you can stand back more and get a better visual of your piece. If you get up close like I'm doing, you can only really focus on that spot. But if the further you move back and hold your brush out, then you kind of can see the whole thing as you're painting, okay? It helps you add more things in there like this if you want more color. Alright, I kind of like that mountain. I'm going to leave it because I got to hurry. Now I'm going to use this brush. It's called a stencil brush. I'm going to put a row of trees in the back, like regular trees, that not evergreen trees. Just going to stamp in like the tops of trees back here. Get different heights. All the way across. Alright, so those are going to be trees. I'm going to put a reflection in the water now. So how I'm going to do the reflection is pretty much you want to mimic what's up here in the water. So I'm going to try and do that. Put what's up on top in the water, and it doesn't have to be perfect. You just got to get some color in the water. And I'm going to actually pull it with the brush straight down once I'm done. If I can get it done quick enough. You know, acrylic paint dries fast, so you got to kind of hurry. So just get some color in the water like that. Now rinse your brush off. I'm going to grab a filbert brush and kind of pull it down just a little first. It's a wet brush. And now I'm going to wipe my brush off and go across the color in the water only, very carefully. Just go across what's in the water. Just like that. Very good. It's looking pretty good. What I'll do with this one when I'm done, I'm going to I'll put a image of the original paint by number side by side with this one, so you can see how they look together. Okay. running some water lines in here now. Doesn't that look cool? Wow, it's looking good. I'm gonna go fast now, and I'm gonna do the clouds now. I'm gonna use an oil brush, filbert oil brush number 8, and make some clouds now. Whoops, just hit the microphone. I'm gonna use titanium white. I'm gonna just stamp in my clouds. If you watch some of my videos, I do the clouds lots of different ways, okay? This seems to be a very effective way to make them, by just stamping in the color. I may have wet my brush too much, but that's all right. I'm basically pretending I'm making the top of the cloud there. The top part of it, and then I'll make it a little bigger at the bottom. That's how I do my clouds, very simple. I'll put some shadows in there. But with my brush now, what I'll do is I'll pull the bottom to the left. Just blend it in a little bit to the sky. Just at the very bottom. It gives the clouds some movement. And you can pull them, either way. But look at that. Look at that. Just made some killer ass clouds in, I don't know, probably 3 minutes. Let's go ahead and fill in this corner here with one. Over the years since I've been painting, I've noticed if you take the clouds to the edge, it looks better, okay? It looks better than just having the clouds here in the middle. So keep that in mind when you do your clouds. Bring them from the edge or down from the top. Fill it in. It really looks a lot better. Wow, those are some awesome clouds there. You can mess around and, put the clouds anywhere you want, okay? Like this. You could put this color anywhere. Now what I want to do, I want to put some, I want to hurry for sure. I'm going to take a little light blue. Just a little bit of blue, and kind of put it in the bottoms of these clouds. Just kind of glaze it at the bottom of the cloud where you pulled it. You don't need much. You just need a little bit of color. It's going to create a shadow underneath the cloud, okay? Just a little bit of color. See that? It creates a a shadow underneath there. Don't overdo it. Little goes a long ways. All right, I'm going to move on now. I'm going to go ahead and put a tree over here now. I'm going to use uh, an acrylic, an uh, oil fan brush, okay? Because I want to put a big evergreen tree over here. Uh, so I just load up my fan brush with, I'm going to make it really tall. Put my trunk in first. Okay. Reload my brush up. Now I'm going to use the corner of the brush, like turn it this way. And I'm going to design my branches. Just press in with your brush, okay? Press it in. And as we come down lower and lower, you're gonna, you'll get wider. Wet your brush a little with some water. I'm running out of dark color. I had to put some green in there because I was running out. There we go. So I'll just add the green in here now. There we go. I kind of like to fill in the middle part here a little bit at the bottom to fill it in. Very good. Look at that. I'm gonna hurry. Now I'm gonna use this stencil brush to put some bushes down here now. I'm gonna have to use some Payne's Gray since I ran out of dark color. Put in some bushes down here. Then I'm going to put some bushes over here. I'm going to have to get some more green out because Hooker Green, Utrecht. This is a Series 4, so this is pretty good. It's pretty good acrylic paint. I didn't put enough paint out, so now I got to mix a little more black. I'm mixing black into that Hooker Green. mixing black in there because I still have some trees to put over here. Alright, now I'm going to use an acrylic fan brush. I'm going to wet it a little bit. Load it up with that Hooker green and black mixture. And I'm going to pop a few trees over here. Use the corner of my brush. I'm going to pretty much stay in the middle of that trunk and just press harder at the bottom and get wider. Look at that. See how easy that was? Just load your brush up. Let's put one right next to it. Just put the trunk in like that. Turn your brush like this and use the corner. Stay small. Stay on your trunk. Follow the trunk down. And then just press harder and harder at the bottom. Just like that. Let's do some more. Let's do some more. We'll start get them smaller as they come down this peninsula here. And don't try and make them perfect. Just stamp the color in there. Wet your brush if you need to. Try and make them a little different each time. Maybe we'll put one at an angle here. Just like that. See that? Now I'm going to just put some bushes on the top of this peninsula here. Now that I have some more of this color, I'm going to reload my stencil brush and re-hit these bushes here because that color wasn't dark enough. Just to re-establish these bushes here. Get the water off. It had a lot of water in there. So there we go. Hopefully I got some time to highlight these bushes. I'll show you how I do it with this brush. It's kind of cool. Let's see how it's looking so far. Wow. That's pretty good. I really like it. It's pretty much almost done. Let's go ahead and put a reflection right here in the water. Rinse your brush off. Dry it a little bit and take your brush and go across it horizontally. And now we got a little reflection there. I gotta hurry because we're already over 30 minutes, but this is coming out pretty good. If you're just joining in, this is I got this image from a paint by number set that they sell at Michael's. So there's some water underneath the edge there. Now I want to run some water forward down into this area, so just get a knife and just get a little white on the tip and start back here, and what you're going to do is kind of wiggle this color down like this, just like that. Keep your knife straight, okay? And it creates water lines out there. And get a filbert brush now, a soft one, and you're going to just barely go across it. Not too much. Just enough to get it to streak a little. Just like that. That's enough. It helps it look like it's on top of the water then. Alright, so I'm going to work underneath these trees here. There's a lot of things you can do here. I'm going to try and I'm going to lighten up this ground with yellow ochre, okay? I'm going to take a brush, wet my brush, and grab some yellow ochre and put a little bit of burnt umber in it just to darken it up. And I'm going to glaze it, okay? Just glaze really lightly across that color there under the bushes. Just glaze it, okay? And what it's going to do, it'll dry and you'll still see some of the dark underneath there. Let's glaze this down here underneath these bushes. You'll see how it works a little better. I'm going to glaze it with yellow ochre. It also brings out the bottom of the bushes. All right, so let's glaze this down here a little bit. Now it looks like a patch of either dead grass there with the trees and bushes there. You see it? Now it looks better now. This is all done. The only thing I got to do now, I'm waiting for this to dry, is for this to highlight these bushes and maybe these. So what I'm going to do is throw a few birds up in here. Exaggerated V shapes. There's different ways to do birds. Takes a little practice. You got to know how to press it in and like you make the V shape press in. It also then it'll make kind of like the body in there. You see that? Now it looks like the bird has a body and wings. So practice with that. You could take a canvas of blue skies and clouds and just practice your birds, because there's a lot of different variations how to make the birds with the liner brush. And I'll put a few twigs out here. This one's been pretty fun. It's Saturday. I got to get rolling. I got a show to do here in Seattle. I probably won't. I'm not going to do the twigs. I'll do it when I shut the camera off. But I'm going to go ahead and highlight these bushes now. So I'm going to highlight it with yellow ochre and a little burnt umber. So I'm going to grab some of my yellow ochre on the brush and mix some burnt umber in it to make it a little darker. Stamp my brush into the paint, fill up that brush. Now what I'm going to do is come down here and create some bushes down here by lightly pressing in this color, okay? Just like that, very lightly. If you do it lightly, some of the dark color will stay in there, okay? Just like that. You see how I left the dark underneath? Doesn't that look cool? Let me see if it's showing up. Got a funny glare there. I got light peeking through up behind it, but doesn't that look cool? I'm going to do this side now. You see, you can't really see anything going on in there. I'm just going to use the same color. I don't have any red out here. Let's make some bushes down here. So I'm going to do the upper ones first and kind of hit the top parts of these bushes here. I'm going to have like a couple layers in here of, and then do some here at the bottom. Just like that. It's a bunch of bushes in there now. Very lightly with this is called it's a bristle brush, but it's got a lot of bristles on it, so you can stamp very lightly, okay? I'm going to highlight those back there as well. I just hit the top parts. That's about it. That's all I want to do. I'm going to leave the tree dark. I like it. I'll glaze this real quick. Now if you want to lighten up this grass work, get a wet acrylic brush. I'm going to use Filbert number 8, I think, and glaze this ground now with some yellow. Just glaze it like this. And we're going to turn that to like some greenish grass there, okay? See how that works? I didn't even have the camera on that section. But I just made this a little greener here by glazing it with yellow. I'll put a little yellow up here too, just to see if it changes the look. Just glaze maybe the top part of it with yellow, just like that. See that? Very good. I'm liking it. That's about all I'm going to do. You could put brown color down here too if you wanted to. Grab some burnt umber and add in some brown dirt down in here. But the painting is pretty much done. I'll probably work on it a little more, but that's all I want to do for this live. Thanks for watching, and I'll put the paint by number where I got this idea from on a post and put them like side by side so you can see where I got the idea from. Look at that. Wow. Very cool. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and cheers.